Quran and the Bible, teaching Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're the Lord's chosen people on this side. The 12 tribes of Israel. We want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakak, double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone camps for teaching us the truth of the Bible. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elects scattered around the world. Shalom.
So, we're in the end times. And these times are happening fast. Like all the prophecies are stacking up. Like blocks. Like you're building blocks. Because if you think about it, everything is just basically parts, bits and pieces, all fastened together by other bits and pieces. We're just like that. Our bones hold up our meat and our sinew and all that stuff. Just like these windows. You take this fucking shit out and these windows will fall out, you support it. What do you think they're what's holding them? It's just a bead of caulking that makes it sticky. And when you think about it, that's why this kingdom is gonna burn up so easy. It's not a real kingdom. You know what I'm saying? It's more like a stage, like a play. You know what a play is? Like you build shit real fast. You build a stage, you build part of a house, the wall of a house, and then the door opens. That stuff is held by bits and pieces of other things.
Those bits and pieces are falling apart.
And those bits and pieces are falling apart.
Because there's a lot of problems with this place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See? And
A lot of problems with this place.
there's a lot of problems. We're gonna go over all those problems because those problems were inherited.
They just keep adding up.
Yeah. So just like these people here inherited curses. Each country that I'm gonna talk about.
Hey, that's my lesson, curses.
Hey, but this place is cursed too. This place is cursed too. This place has the biggest curse because our curses are gonna be swept off onto the scapegoat, which is Babylon. And that's why it's going to be destroyed. But remember, it's all bits and pieces. And when something is a solid thing, it doesn't get burnt that quick. Now in a house, there's something called a firewall. And it's usually between the garage and the room and the ceiling. It's different. It's fire retardant. So fire doesn't go through it too fast. But the fire is gonna go through this place fast. Because like the brother said, it's on bits and pieces that are falling apart. They need oil, they need all kinds of things. Now, I was watching a movie called Doom. You ever seen that? Doom?
With The Rock?
Doom?
Yeah, I think this was the...
It's the new one?
Oh, no, it's like...
So it's the old one. But that one, I'm gonna watch that one tonight. Have you seen the old one? Doom? Okay, this is a badass movie. And if you're in the truth, you gotta watch it because that guy Paul is in there and he's being trained. We're being trained. He's being trained by his teachers in war and suspicion and physical psychic abilities. So that's how we're gonna be in the kingdom, and it's important to understand so that we can get these curses off of us. Because it says that these curses are gonna be lifted up when we start obeying. Right? So let's go to Revelation 13 and 16.
I got a precept, you know,
Go ahead.
because you're talking about the curses, right?
Yeah.
So, this is Deuteronomy 11 and 27. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Most High your power, which I command you this day. And a curse if ye not obey the commandments of the Most High your power, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which you have not known.
So that's why these curses need to be lifted off, okay? So the brother made a good point. These bits and pieces are held together by different gods. Those are the things those are the nails that fasten that shit. Just like we're bound to the truth because of Yahweh Yahushai. Yahushai came down and spilled his blood and that released the Holy Spirit, and then we're getting fed by it. Bring the Holy Spirit. That, yeah.
Because we were doing a sit down in the London yesterday, and we were talking about the Russian wind.
Yeah, the wind, yeah.
From Acts 2 though?
That rushing wind is the Holy Spirit it rushed in the house.
Yeah, you can get that if you want. That's beautiful scripture. Because we are that house. And like I said, everything is all together. Go ahead,
I was saying too, you don't have to be inside the church to get the Holy Spirit. It's a wind, we can be outside and still get the Holy Spirit.
And you know what's fantastic? If you're in the church, they make it airtight, so there's no wind coming.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. How is the wind supposed to go?
How is the wind supposed to go in?
And people go to the churches to find the Holy Ghost.
That's why old houses never had windows. Well, they had windows, but they were open and bugs and everything come in because they wanted the wind. The wind carries bacteria and it kills bacteria and it cleanses. It'll knock shit down.
Go like this.
And the wind destroys shit too.
The wind destroys
tornadoes.
He gathers the wind in his fist. Do you understand that? Okay, so now we're going to go to Revelation.
Revelation 13 and 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
So that is a complicated he. That he is the beast. It's the beast system. It's the dragon, the devil, Satan, that old serpent. See how it has so many different names? Because it's been here so many different times.
And right now he's causing everybody to get the yap.
Yeah.
Yes, it be yeah. That's some bullshit.
Apostle Hart said once you got that, fuck.
Yeah, Apostle Tahar put up a video saying if you got the yap, you're fucked. Because he put up another video, and in his comment section he put up a video, and it's called Self-Replicating Hydra found in the yap.
Mm-hmm.
And I told brother, it reminds me of the you're watching Spider-Man cartoons, the Venom.
Yeah,
what are they called?
yeah,
Sleep
yeah.
film.
And it goes all over his thing.
Yeah, and they're like little, so something similar to that.
And if you cut a piece off, it goes two pieces.
Yeah. Self-replicating does. See, so these people don't know, and you really can't help it. I come to understand that you have to worry about yourself. And I come to the conclusion that if I'm going to get my family back, it's going to have to be in the kingdom. Because this place is so dangerous, I can't keep them safe forever. At one point in time, like in that movie Dune, that kid Paul, he had to face certain dangers. That he, in the scripture, and he calls it all both great and small. How are you going to call someone great and small? Because that he must be dangerous. That he must be dangerous. That's Satan. That's the Edomites. That's the elite of the Edomites.
That he has power.
That he has fucking power. Because you say no, but he's going to do things to make you consider. You're going to change jobs this many times, that many times. You're going to get. But then the Lord will give you some things.
I'm a perfect example because I had to leave because they were trying to force that yab on me, so I said, nah, fuck that, But he threw me a bone,
And that's all we really need, the bone. So that bone might be small to him, but it'll be large to us because we need it.
Yeah.
So now, read that again.
Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
So that mark, now we're going to talk about that mark. Because anything that goes into your skin will leave a mark. I have tattoos that I'm not so proud of, but that left a mark on my body. And that mark is also in my mind because I'm never going to forget the pain that I went through just to get those wounds that's already scrubbing up. It looks like it's fading away. See, but this, you take this mark and it's never going to fade away because Brother said it's a self-replicating hydra. Now, remember we did so many lessons on how there's a robot that goes in and it helps your cell move this way or that way. There's a sperm bot that'll help old man sperm, go into the right place. It'll choose a sperm against the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It'll choose the slowest one and it'll make it go into. So those things are those self-replicating hydras are gonna be assisted by the RFID.
It's like venom attaches to people's body.
see that black car over there, that Challenger? That it's a 392 engine. Now that's pretty fast. But I did a lesson earlier in the week where you can modify your car and make it faster. So that's your chariot.
Yeah.
You can make that faster than what it is. You can enhance the self-replicating hybrids with RFID, and now you've got a whole system of
That hydra too, it could feed off our water fleets. You know? We have like certain bacteria, water bacteria, and
we got
water fleets.
Yeah, we got so many. There's a universe inside of us, really. There's a universe inside of us. Now, if the scripture says we were made in His image, we're inside His universe. Right?
That reminds me of that movie, Moses Jones. I don't know if you guys
That movie's
Moses
bad.
Jones, yeah, with Chris Rock. I think.
That movie is bad. Even though it's for little kids, man, I was like, oh, into it.
Yeah.
Just a couple of nights ago.
Yeah.
Because that's really what's going on inside our bodies. Now, you take those little hydras. This is going to be more information than it is. We're going to the next one is Revelation 16. Revelation 16, if you got it already.
Oh, 16?
And then that little osmosis Jones was going around chasing that fucking bacteria. And he was like, I gotta get this guy. I gotta get this guy. Same those little robots that you inject yourself with are getting all your fucking good cells and killing them. This video's not gonna go out. I mean, we're already saying too much things. They're gonna take it down, but that's okay. I'm gonna name it something sweet.
Well, at least you got this brother's channel, my channel, where maybe someone can see it.
It will go around.
Yeah.
I put up that video.
Well, there you go. See, because those little robots, let's say you're sick, those little robots in your body will go attack that sickness. And that's going to be one of those miracles. He has the power to do miracles. I'm healthy all of a sudden. Let's say you had a gimpy leg. It's going to restore that connection between the tissue and the nerve and the brain, and the spark that goes in from your neurons is going to connect all the way. It's going to correct whatever the things that are in your body, and they're going to
Kind of like right now, you see they have fake robot hands that they put on
you
there.
seen that?
Yeah.
And you grab it, and it grabs the thing, and it has muscles.
That's Esau.
That's Esau right there.
You said 13 and 16?
No, the Revelation 60.
Oh, yeah.
You can start at the first one.
There's the book of Revelation 16 and 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your ways and pour out the wealth of the wrath of Yahweh upon the earth.
Okay, so now you might be thinking, who are those seven angels? Well, I might get this in Revelation 15 and 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. So now you know what 16 and 1 is talking about. So now let's go on to 2.
Revelation 16 and 2. And the first went and poured out clouds on the earth. And there fell noisome and grievous sore upon the man which had the mark of the beast,
Oh, this is the banger right here.
and upon them which worship his image.
Okay, so now, noisome and grievous sore upon man. Apostle Harvard said that was cancer. It has to be. Because those little robots are going to feed the cancer. See, no. Let me just get back. Those little robots are the cancer. Those little robots are going to make you sick, and this is when the last plague is poured out.
Yeah, because those robots, they're messing with your immune system. They're lying to your immune system, telling you everything's okay with your body.
It's really,
You know?
wasn't there a pilot crashed into the San Diego neighborhood because he took the jab and fucking died and crashed the plane? I think it was because of that. I think
Okay,
if
yeah.
if
See? That's noisome and grievous sore.
straight up died and just plane crashed,
Yeah.
killed all many people.
And two, you get like diseases from that. Yeah. One called
Palsy?
palsy. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of people have gotten that one. That's like the most common one.
Some Canadian doctor, she's famous. She has that palsy because she took the jab. I'm gonna look at that word cancer.
Now you can't talk right.
Now you can't talk right, and then your spouse, your husband or your spouse is looking at you weird. Cancer, a disease caused by an uncontrollable division of abnormal cells in a part of the body. It says a malignant growth or tumor resulting from the division of abnormal cells. And if we look at what those hybrid animals do, they divide. That's an uncontrollable division right there. Don't they divide? You cut off one of them.
Can't kill it.
You can't kill it. So guess what's happening in your body that you took that fucking, your body's fighting against you. It's cutting off the head off one, and it grows two. So now they're fucking just wasting away.
It's known in Greek mythology.
Mm-hmm.
It's known as a many-head serpent or something like that.
And if you watch that movie from Disney, the Hercules one, he fights the Hydra. Have you seen it?
That's it.
Okay, but Rock 2, right?
Yeah. And he fought all of them, and he cut off their heads. So you have, and then this thing, they're gonna keep reproducing itself, man. And that's a malignant division of cells. So those things are, man. You see, it's just stick to the milk. Just stick to the milk, and then you'll get extra stuff. So let's go. So when this is let me read it again. And the first way, so this is gonna be 7 plagues. It's gonna be 7 plagues. And the first went and poured out in vials on the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. So there's the image that's worshipped and the beast.
The Hydra, its real name is Corona, but not spelled, but it's with a K. So, K-E-R, something like that. But I swear, and then per something, I don't know the last name. That's what it's called.
Okay, that goes back to the
And then the crazy, a dummy nigga would be like, started and spelled the same way. You see? I'm safe. Take that shit. Let's see, you know you're at a gay nightclub. I mean, it sounds funny, but it's gonna change who you are. So why isn't that true? What I'm saying.
One of the guys from IEC took it and he said that he felt like his soul left or spirit left or something like that.
I don't even want to try that shit.
Yeah, because it disconnects you from the Most High. Because it messes with your pineal gland.
Yeah, that's real.
Oh yeah, and Tahar said too, he picked somebody up and they said I'm all messed up because I took 3 shots. He said that was in camp. You know? He said I'm all messed up. I took 3 shots.
So 3 shots is it sounds like it's not enough, right? You take a look at that thing, that big, but it's going to inject millimeters of little tiny microscopic organisms that are in the billions. So you're looking at this little thing and you're thinking, oh, it's small compared to me. And in retrospect, yeah, because you look at this, it's an injection and it's smaller than you, but what's inside it? It's little microscopic animals, robots that are going to attack your little cells inside your body.
That's why if it's so free, why don't they put it over the counter? You know?
Why don't they give us some vitamins? You know, why don't they give us some oil?
Right. That's right.
Or like the test too, to stick that shit up your nose. But Esau has technology where like if your eyelash falls down, they have that technology where they could just pick the eyelash and put it on some shit and they would know what the eyelash that belongs to. So why is it that has to be a big ass
You can just spit on that fucking thing.
yeah, they give it to them, they'll know.
Like here, take your nose, fucking put it on.
Yeah.
But this motherfucker is.
Stick
That's
it
a
all
plan.
the way.
This is the heat in Revelation 13 and 16. This is the heat. This is the beast.
Yeah.
This is the beast, okay? And I just want to say this about the beast. He's been here forever, man. Because every kingdom that came into power through violence was part of that beast system.
Yeah.
Away from Babylon, Syria, the Medo-Persian Empire, in the Rome, Spain, Germany, England. That's the beast, you see? America too.
And I even Google which country is the most influential one, and it's, guess what? Here.
America, Babylon.
Yeah.
And that's the whore that sits on the beast. Ain't that dumb?
The most influential country in the world, Babylon.
Man, most of the heart is very smart. And I want to say this about that man. He's fucking smart. Because he said if you're gonna take the jab or you go back into the world, what's the first thing you should do? And I didn't think about this answer. But he said, I'd get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's in country, right? Because this place is gonna get destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still stay here.
You see him?
Knowing
Yeah,
that,
he said
knowing that
they-
this place is gonna be destroyed.
How the fuck you gonna know? How you gonna be in the truth? Know the truth. Turn your back on your how about Shimmy how shy and still stay here like a fucking dummy.
Yeah, because he said also if they actually believed, they would have left though. But they see from the beginning they weren't even believers. Yeah.
So when
they
I first started
actually-
hearing that, I was scared. I was like, fuck, I live here. You know, it's gonna get blown up. And I'm gonna stay here because I'm broke and I don't have none of the fucking resources I need to get the fuck out of here. That's pretty scary, man. Let's get rid of the third verse.
God. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it came as the blood of a dead man, and every soul died in the sea.
So this is pretty bad. This is bad. So all these things are going to happen that are very terrible. So this, and we can read about all these angels, and none of this stuff has happened. So you got to be pretty full of yourself to say something like that. This is bad. This is not good. This is bad. And so let's go back to Revelation 13. And 13 and 5.
Revelation 13 and 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies.
Great things and blasphemies. What's a great thing? Like how can you say, well, I'm gonna make this vaccine mandate that goes against the Constitution that got me this job? And a lot of people don't understand that, and they just, oh, okay, you're gonna do this. And this person won a racing thing, and all the rednecks were chanting, "Fuck Joe Biden," and then this bitch was like, "You hear what they're saying? They're chanting for you. They're saying, let's go, Brandon." So Brandon was a race car driver. He won the race, and the people were shouting, "Fuck this guy!" And he's something, isn't he? Because right here it said, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things. And this is not just one person, because it's like in Rome they had Julius Augustus and all the other Caesars, and then Triumphant, which was the three Caesars that, you know, it's just a bunch of demons that are taking the place of the beast. They're all, because it's a lot of work, right? They're at their final stage of work. This final stage, this guy is saying, speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. So that's been happening for a while. But this is the greatest blasphemy he's ever said, because let's see which one. All right, let's Revelation 13 and 17 will explain it, because that's what's going to happen next.
Revelation 13 and 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Because that name and that number and that image took thousands of years to get to where it's at right now. This is the top of this is that pour on that beast. This is the great power that place has, because they're telling everybody that you're gonna get vaccine or you ain't gonna work. Now you can't even buy food or sell, which means you can't work. You can't buy any of those things because you don't have that certain thing. You can't participate in this civilization.
So it's called land of the free now.
Land of the free and home of the bullshit. So, that's just all I wanted to say, really. The Spirit took control of that one. But that's okay because every brother is on board. And we're all seeing these last days coming. So that was just my lesson. I was just trying to show you what we're getting into. And to have great faith because if you take that mark, you're going to get fucked up. You take that hydra, which is another word for serpent, you're at the grass, you're done. So I'm going to end up my lesson and then the brother's going to give me.
Yeah, good lesson because I want to speak upon the word forsake because you talk about the MOTV, so we're trying to wake up the local way. Which the people on this chart right here, they didn't know, hey, don't get it. So today's what I want to speak upon is the word forsake because a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. Say for example, one of them, let's say a Jake who's walking by and you tell him, hey, you're from the tribe of Judah. And that guy would be like, well, I doubt that. And he walks away. So what he did? He forsake his word. So, because he's going to keep walking away because he's doubting that he's from the tribe of Judah. You see, our people have a history of doubting who they are. You know what I mean? So, we got to make sure that
I got a definition for you.
Okay.
This is the word doubt. A feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. Feel uncertain about. Fear, be afraid. They're actually more being afraid of who they really are because they have to take a stand against the society.
Yeah.
They have to say, like, no, I ain't taking that shit. No, I think that's bad. No, I think this. No,
Yeah.
You have to say things out loud.
That's doubt because if they know we're telling them not to take the vaccine, they want to eat, but they know their job requires for them to have it, therefore they're going to forsake his word. I don't want to lose all this. My job lose, I lose my job, I lose my home, my cars. So they don't want to do that. So that's why they forsake his word because you got to go through trials and tribulations, man, in the truth. You really do, though. It's hard work, but it pays off.
That's the spirit because you got to watch that movie now, Doom, because that brother goes through all kinds of trials and tribulations, and that's going to be us. Before he got his power, he had to go through all kinds of bullshit. Before we get ours, you're saying the right things.
Yeah. Right. Reminds me of Isaiah chapter 40 with the spiritual powers. Of Isaiah, I think 40th chapter. But so we have to go through these trials and tribulations, man. See, our people, they don't like to suffer, man. They like to live fast. That's why you got Jake, man. Jake, smoking weed, chasing girls, chasing bags, and living at the mama's house because they want to live comfortable. But if we tell them, hey, man, you got to stop doing all that and come into the street, man, we got the living waters, but you choose not to, then you go ahead and eat dry bones, man, because we're actually living. This is actually living right here. You over there, living with your mom, selling weed, having 5 kids, you think that's living? Drinking on Hennessy? That's not the real living. Us brothers, we are living though, man. This is the real life right here. And you get the book of Jeremiah 17 and 13, and I can get Exodus 17, 4 through 7.
17, 4.
Yeah, because our people, man, they don't want to learn, man. They uneducated, man. They don't want to learn at all. So that's why I was saying, that Jake would tell them, hey, man, you're from the tribe of Judah, man. And they'd be like, doubt that. And then we would try to break it down to them because we have to live in waters, man. But if they don't want to hear this word, then I guess, it is what it is, and he is a two-third.
And you know what proves that we are Israelites? The fact that we're up here with the Bible.
Yeah.
Why would we do it?
Yeah.
Because we don't feel afraid. We don't feel uncertain. We're the opposite of doubt,
Yeah.
which is confidence.
Yeah, we have to have confidence. Like, today, I had to actually come to Hanford. My woman had she had an appointment for an ultrasound. So I still had to drive back to Kalinga and still drive back here. And I still have to drive back to Kalinga. But see, I mean, that's not trial and tribulations, but it's about sacrificing too, man.
That sacrifice is important.
Yeah, you have to sacrifice. I told his brother, as long as my car works, man, we did a video of the markup, works, it has enough gas, I'm gonna be coming out here no matter what. And I could have been like, hey, I'm not going to camp today because I just happen to come from Hanford and I still gotta drive out there. But nah, man, you gotta make a sacrifice no matter what. It's true, man. That's all about sacrifice.
Like I said in that video about the chariots, imagine Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's big chariot breaking down the Sabbath. And he sends Gabriel the archangel. Y'all niggas thought, wait, even longer. But the missiles are coming down. That's not gonna happen because you have to keep your shit working. It's an extension of yourself.
Yeah. You gotta be on point on your chariot too, man. That's what takes you to places, man. So imagine it, like you said, imagine a chariot that's gonna give you salvation. It breaks down to the side of the road or something. And you're over here waiting for the salvation, but boom, you get hit by a missile. You gotta make sure your chariots are on point.
Yeah, Michael calls you and, hey, can you get Esau to tow us over here? And that's a program? Come on.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
This is Jeremiah 17:13. O Yahweh Hashem the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed, and they that depart from thee shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken Yahweh Hashem the fountain of living waters.
Exactly. So you got the living waters, man. How come you guys don't want to come and take a little drink, man? Because you guys are dry. So they're forsaken. Everyone that denies to be an Israelite, man, be ashamed of yourself. That's like you telling your dad, hey, I'm not your son. And just, you know what I mean? Your dad's going to feel some type of way about it. Like, even you ain't my son. You came out of me, man. What are you talking about? And that's what our people are doing, man. They're forsaking, got the definition right here. Refuse, give up, and deny. You're denying who you are. Because we grew up too with proud Issacharites dads. My dad, I remember if I talk Spanish and if I mispronounce a word in Spanish, he'll get on my ass and, hey, you don't say it like that, you gotta say it like this. He'll get on my ass about me speaking Spanish because he wanted me to speak Spanish. Which, I wasn't mad about it, but when I was younger, a little kid, I say a word kind of wrong, be on my ass.